All right, everybody, we are on with Daryl Morey, the president of basketball operations for the Philadelphia 76ers. Daryl, it's great to have you on the First Mint, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, it's an honor. You guys have been out front on the whole trend. It's fun to talk to.
Very excited. So let's kick it off right away. Let's dive into your history of crypto because I've seen some of your online activity. Everything's public on the blockchain. We can see this. We all know your background. You're a smart computer guy. You know about crypto. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I was real early on Bitcoin in like a bleeding edge stupid way where I was in 2011 giving away Bitcoin to people on Twitter, just anyone random who would reply to me. I'd say like, hey, here's a Bitcoin. So I wish none of those things that I gave away was worth whatever it is now, $55,000. I have no idea what it is right now. So
don't look. Don't go look.
Yeah. And so I had actually built up a big store of that. Hackers, please don't listen to this podcast. But I built up a big store, and then if you can believe it, I was like, you know what? I should probably put my Bitcoin in different places. Like I had it on a wallet on my machine, so I was like, oh, I'll put it on this MTGOX exchange. I was like, that sounds like an interesting exchange, but I didn't know where it was, and honestly, Bitcoin was like $5 or something, so I was like, whatever, if I lose it. And then obviously, like people who are into crypto know that they got hacked, and I lost everything on the MTGOX exchange. And I was like, and then like one of my least favorite things that happened is I was like, as I lost everything, I was like, MTGOX, they're like, that's the Magic the Gathering exchange. I was like, holy shit! I put my crypto on something called the Magic the. I had no idea. I played Magic in college. I wasn't a big player, but I knew about it. And I was like, well, I would have never put my crypto on if I knew it was called, if I knew that was the name of the exchange. And I put it on two main exchanges plus a local wallet, but I put most on Mt. Gox or whatever people called it at the time. And so I lost all that. I was in the Japanese bankruptcy case, which was fascinating because they didn't put everything in English. So like a lot of it was, I was calling my cousin who's a bankruptcy bankruptcy judge in New Jersey. She was like, you're screwed. You're never going to get anything. So I ended up selling it so Bain Capital did this like roll up where they just bought all the like bankruptcy claims, which is a smart, and I sold it all at 10 cents on the dollar when it was like, I don't know, Bitcoin was like 1,000 at the time.
Yeah.
So I did everything wrong on that. And then I was pretty big in Ethereum. And then surprisingly, I was a little late to the party on Top Shots and Sorare and digital art, NFTs, all that, because what I didn't like about Top Shot when I first heard the concept is, for me, like, the scarcity is the biggest thing. And so I had a real worry that like it'd have Joel Embiid's 50-point game one moment, and then the 50th point another moment, and then his dribbling before he took the hook shot to get the 50th point another moment. So I got a little worried that there wouldn't be the scarcity. But then finally it was just like, I should jump in this party, just why not? Oh, I missed out that I did do the precursor to Top Show, which was like the CryptoKitties. So this was in 2017. I'm like, all right, seems like I should just get a CryptoKittie. So I have one of those.
Wait, when did you get it? When did you get a CryptoKittie? Like 3 years ago or just now?
17. No,
so you did years ago. You got a CryptoKittie.
Years ago, but it's not a good one. I think it's worth like $150 now. It's not like some of those are worth like a lot now, right? I don't even know. So,
some of them are worth a lot. Yeah, some of the original.
I don't even like cats. I don't like cats, so I didn't. I was just like, I'll just get one because it seems like everyone's getting a CryptoKittie, so I'll just do that. So I did that, and then I just jumped into Top Shot, and then I jumped in a dumb way there. I think I'm in the space that has the most risk to it. Like, I think there's a lot of people who want to come into the space, and so that'll prop up like the bottom tier of the rare cards and some of the stuff that's accessible. And then, the super high end stuff I think will hold value because I think there's just like crazy rich people who are buying cards because they think it'll be the first digital cards ever. I do think the mid tier has some risk to it if you look at the evolution of these markets. So I'm firmly in the mid tier because I don't want to spend like a lot of money on this stuff. But I mostly just got stuff that I like. I got 76ers. I got Danny Green throwing a lob to Dwight Howard because we literally had it in the game. So that night I was like, I wonder if there's a Danny Green to Dwight Howard dunk, and for sure there was one in the finals last year. So I grabbed that moment, which I was happy about. I grabbed some young players who I think are great young players, and that are hard for me to talk about. But the Sixers, my best one was actually I grabbed Joel Embiid. I think that was the first one I grabbed, and that one's gone up pretty good in value. So
you got to lace them up, man. That's a great Series 1 legendary set. It'll always be Series 1. There'll probably never be more legendaries that are only a 75 limited set. So that's pretty good. That's going to be pretty rare over time. So it's a pretty good purchase.
I'm excited that you said that, Luke, because I have no idea I'm sure there's all these people monitoring and bots, and I just go on and go like 76ers, what's available? That seems good. Okay, do it. Like I don't put much more thought to it than that. And then one of my friends invested in Sorare at Benchmark. So that made me aware of Sorare. And then I jumped on Sorare. My son's a huge international soccer fan. And so he just tells me what's good on Sorare, and I jump on that. My best one is the highest grade Jonathan Bamba card. You probably don't know soccer as much. Is this just Top Shot only?
It is for now. I spend a lot of time on Top Shot, but eventually we will look at the other sports. Right. We're going to develop that, but right now we're in Top Shot.
I'm so excited about my Joel Embiid lace 'em up. I got one of those digital frames, like the Harry Potter frame.
Yeah.
Gonna have I don't remember the name of it, but I bought it and did it. It wasn't that expensive, so I did that. What are those
Very
called?
cool.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
There's a few different ones. Yeah, there's a few different companies, like Inside Glass or something like that. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
okay.
So I'm going to have that. My wife thinks I'm crazy. She's like, what? I'm going to have another picture frame. That's all we need. Whatever. So I'm like, you'll love digital art. I don't have to store it anywhere. It's great. So, yeah. So anyway,
So wait. So you just gave us your whole history of kind of blockchain there, just from Magic the Gathering exchange all the way to now you've got Joel Embiid, player on your team. What's next? What else do you have your eye on in the blockchain space? Now you've got your little Top Shot collection, and you've listed them just so everybody here knows, and everyone will probably go see your account after this. That Daryl has listed. It might need a bit of a reality check for the price of his moments that he's listed. His legendary is a great buy, but I don't know. $249,999 for Joel Embiid. It's the biggest sale ever is 2,208. So we might be maybe in the next surge, maybe, but just.
The bottom line is I have no interest in selling them. I just want to hold them. But I'm I know enough about rich people. I'm sometimes they just come on and do something crazy. So it's if someone wants to buy the one that I have, sure, just pay what so I think it's good for anchoring, and I think it's just whatever. Why not? Why everyone should sell everything.
What if somebody wants to buy it because you owned it first?
Who knows? I mean, I wouldn't recommend that for them, but I would say sure. You never know, right? So I don't know why everyone just doesn't have a price on everything on there.
At
why
any
not?
given moment.
If you don't want to sell it, and you even don't want to sell it less than me, put $1 billion on it. Why not? Why don't people do that? So
they could.
So
absolutely.
So I did that, and So I actually worry about the Top Shot model, not now, but later. So the fact that they drive you to the lowest listed price, I actually think works fine as there's a frenzy. But as you and I know, I don't know how old you are, but I'm old. I'm old enough to know how these things evolve, and so there's going to be different areas, just like Bitcoin got hot, had a period where everyone thought it could not be anything, got hot again, got flat again, got hot again. So things are going to go through a cycle, and so when the Top Shot cycle comes, where there's going to be less enthusiasm, their model for how they list and sell cards will actually hurt and create a sort of a negative cycle, I think, of
Like a downward spiral of just
that would create a
undercutting.
race to the bottom. And
Right.
they should look at more auction models, like victory auction models and things like that, is what I would look at. But
I hope that
anyway,
that's on its way. I hope that that's coming actually, because there's definitely the need, especially for the legendary moments. It's like some of them could definitely use a bidding, especially for the more scarce ones. It's like we need that. And also that would just kind of add a new dynamic as well. That would actually really help. Right.
yeah, exactly.
So,
Sorare has an auction model, which I think is good.
yeah,
And I mean, auction stuff has been studied pretty heavily from the late '90s until now, because there's eBay, so there are times when you want buy it now prices. There are times when you want regular auctions, times when you want victory auctions. There's like a whole set of theory, and if I was Roham, I wouldn't care about it either. I would just be trying to make my site work. But eventually, these are the kinds of questions that he has to think about. So
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are in the background.
Yeah, and then I went from like reluctant to whole hog into Sorare, and then I did some digital art, and you wanted to ask me about some of my crazy digital art. It sounded like. So.
Yeah, we can go right into it now. I mean, I want to come back to Top Shot, but since you brought it up, just so everybody knows who's listening, Daryl also has a very extensive collection on Rarible that includes a few different pieces. Tell us before we get to your own NFT, which will come in a second, the art that you've got on here. As a collector, tell me about it. What's driving that?
Sure.
And also, I want to say that you're consistent. You've also listed every single piece that you have here for 50 ETH each. So you're listed them for 100 grand each. So you're consistent with it. Buy it or collect it, and then just list it immediately for like 200x. Like I love that.
Luke, you just might get drunk one night and just say, "Why not?" Like,
you think I have just 50 ETH for Bird of Prey? I wish, man.
No, I mean, there's a lot of like house money in the crypto space. There's a whole bunch of people who are early, who are just sitting on these crypto crypto millions of monopoly money that was easy come, and it might be easy go too. So I'm like, if you want a cool artwork that I grabbed, 50 Ethereum, so it's yours, baby. It's all yours. So I would say the piece I like the best by far is the Dune piece I got from Pascal, and he's like a real up and coming artist, Pascal. And what got interesting there is that is the whole like backlash against NFT hit on that one. So I bought a bunch of NFT art from I think like real up. So my strategy there was like find the next people, right? Find the next. Right? I don't even know if this is a good strategy, but this was my strategy. I went to digital artists that I knew before the crypto boom, and I thought their work was amazing. Pascal was one of them, and I just like started buying their stuff, and it seems like people weren't really on it, and a lot of the top digital artists are still reluctant to go on, so haven't listed their work. So I wanted to get the first works from people, so I've done that as well, and so so the bottom line is, I got this Dune one from Pascal. He listed it, and then like everyone started attacking him, which I thought was crazy. Like that they were like, yeah, Earth is going to turn into Dune, a big desert, because NFTs are ruining the world, which is completely nonsense to me. Like, first off, let's fix. You know how we fixed the NFT power usage problem? I could fix it in 3 seconds. Nuclear power. We should have it. It's the most green energy out there. Just do it, and we can forget that we have to be worried about like we're ruining the environment with carbon dioxide being pumped into the atmosphere. So, like to me, like first off, when you do that, and then if you look at the life cycle chain of digital art versus non-digital art, it's gonna be not orders of magnitude different. Absolutely not, and I'm very strongly believe that. Now, other people have studied it more, so you can find someone smarter on that. But I don't see it as I personally don't see it as an issue. So anyway, that was my Dune one is the best one, and then I can talk about others. Yeah.
Okay, and the other ones are they also from Pascal? Or are they from other artists? And kind of how do you choose that? How do you choose it? Because a lot of people,
these were digital artists.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for my comic books when I was a kid. I'm waiting for those people to jump on. Like Rob Liefeld, he's a good friend. He's going to jump on soon, and I've told him I want to grab his stuff.
Awesome.
But yeah, no, just digital artists that I knew before the the world changed basically, and hopefully find the guys that are going to pop, that are going to pop later. So that's it. Yeah. So I have two David McLeod, Pascal, and then there's a couple others up and coming guys as well. We don't have to. People can look on Rarible. Just look.
I mean, if you're kind of telling us the names right now, you're either trying to pump your own bags or you're giving up the secret, right? There's two sides to that sword, right? Of kind of talking about why you love these artists, and it's the same thing in Top Shot, right? People try and pump, but at the same time, they kind of give up their strategy.
I don't mind giving. This is not my day job is spending nearly 100% of my time on the Sixers. So, if people want to steal my strategy, go for it. I think it's great. It'll be good value add for your podcast.
Total. Oh yeah.
I'm mostly probably gonna mostly I'm probably gonna steer them wrong. So I just want to warn people of that. So this is just my concept. So.
Your Top Shot, your sales, your immediate flipping to like an insane price is I don't know if that's the best for short-term games, but maybe for long-term games, we'll see if it works.
I just have no interest in selling. So that's my.
You put it for an insane price. Yeah.
Yeah, or not insane, Luke. When you get drunk, I'm telling you.
Hey, listen, totally. Hey, 4 months ago, I was buying James Harden, like the Series 1 moment, the one that you have. Like, I was buying that for $2, and I thought I was crazy. And I'd buy like 6 a day. And I was like, I don't know, no one else is buying this, so I must be insane. Okay. And now, it was going for $1,300 like 2 weeks ago. So things, it can happen. It can happen. That's an insane return.
Sure have 50 Ethereum for my Dune picture if you want.
Maybe if the withdrawals accelerate for Dapper, then maybe I'll have something close to that. But maybe not.
Like it's hard to get your stuff off. It's like
a slow rollout.
Poker winnings off like 10 years ago or something.
Well, especially if you're not in the US as well, you can only withdraw to USDC right now. So again, you got to know your way around Ethereum to get some of that cash out. Yeah, the bank wire is only for US right now, and which is a bit of ironic. Obviously, it's Dapper's in Canada. So you hope that we could get on that list as well, but maybe soon. I do want to stick to your Rarible collection. You've got one. You've made an NFT, which is probably more than most of our listeners can actually say that you have actually minted your own NFT.
Sure.
Tell me about it.
Well, first off, that's easy. So like anyone should do it. Like just get MetaMask and be on Rarible or Foundation or one of these, and just it's easy as pie. So like you don't even need to be a computer science grad like me, but. So the first significant thing I did in the basketball world was develop this formula for predicting wins based on points scored versus point given up. And so I made 5 NFTs of that. And that one I actually do want to sell because I'm giving the proceeds to ACLU. And so for one Ethereum, you can get the original work that I did way back with Bill James. On basketball's Pythagorean theorem. So, and the proceeds will go to charity. So you heard it here first. And
that's amazing.
I'm on Rarible. What is my Rarible ID? I think it's just
you're just Daryl Morey on it.
I'm just Daryl Morey, all one word. So you can find me there. You can get my Dune, which is a bargain at 50 Ethereum, or you can get my original work.
Wait, hold on. How would you feel if somebody bought? Are these on Rarible? Your theorem, are they numbered 1 through 5, or they're just random? They're not serial numbered.
They're 1 to 5, but
they're 1 to 5. Okay.
I haven't. I don't even know. Is that a thing where like you put a 1 on it? I should do that.
Yeah, I mean, people always want the number 1. Right, and that's like at least in Top Shot terminology, people want like the lower serial numbers do better, but
maybe I did that. I might have done it by accident.
Maybe you got it. What I was going to ask you though is,
if someone buys it, I will give them number 1. Whoever does it first.
But what if? Number 1. But how would you feel, Daryl? How would you feel if somebody bought it and for 1 ETH, and then they put it up for 50, and then somebody bought it at 50, and they're buying your theorem instead of the art you have that you're trying to sell for the same price?
I would be thrilled for them. I'd make like that's my own fault for not pricing it right. Yeah. Like I love scalpers. People hate scalpers. I think they're just a nice part of the market. You know, if they can figure out that my one Ethereum thing is worth 50, good, more power to them. So I have no issue with that. Plus, it'd be cool. Like it'd be like I sold something for 50, or my thing was worth 50. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'd be good with that. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
The other up and coming artists, like Ethan Mishra was another one. So since I'm pumping up my own stuff, so
Do it. Yeah.
Ethan Mishra I think is an up and coming artist as well. So.
Are you you're a big art collector on the side, like outside of crypto stuff? Like you have art a lot at your house, kind of thing.
My biggest thing is I can't really talk about my biggest piece of art, but I've put it on Instagram before I came to Philadelphia, and so that someone could search my Instagram.
Well, we're all going to go do that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
But
you. Okay. Would you see yourself ever spending like more in crypto art than you would in physical life art?
Oh, 100. Not even a question.
Okay, you would.
I will
yeah.
absolutely spend more on digital art. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I want to bring it back.
Not Jeff Koons level, but like just like I'm waiting for Jeff Koons' like Hakeem Olajuwon poster that goes for 100 million in crypto. So. Or no, was it Hakeem or Moses Malone? I think it was.
There's a few of them, yeah. There's a few nice ones. I want to bring it back to Top Shot because we are a Top Shot show, and we're slowly going into NFTs. So it's great to hear. It's great to hear, and we could talk about NFTs for a while. And I think we're keen to keep hearing your voice in the space. But for Top Shot,
Moses Malone,
okay, so okay, perfect.
Like Jeff Koons literally framed a Moses Malone poster and sold it for like $50 million. So people want to say that the values in digital are crazy. To me, they're crazier in the real world. Like some of these things that get sold are crazy.
Well, especially because it could be, and I mean, this is it's the counter argument to it as well. Is like, especially because the real world stuff can be damaged, right? Like it's like if your house burns down, like you're running out of there. You're not necessarily going to grab your piece of art, right? Like it'll go, right? Or somebody can take it.
Well, and I just moved, and you know how annoyed my wife was that she had to move my like 12,000 comic books. Like she was just completely annoyed by that. But my comic books I'm going to list on Only Alt, and they're this new startup that like literally will vault your stuff, value it, everything. It's amazing. It's by Alexis Ohanian, Serena's husband, started.
Yeah. He's great. One of the co-founders of Reddit. Hold on, I gotta ask you about your comic books, because actually, can I tell you a really tragic story that's completely unrelated to any of this?
Oh, no.
So one of the first things I collected when I was a kid was comic books. And, like Christmas when I was 11, I got like a comic book, and I was instantly, and I got like Wizard Magazine. You remember Wizard Magazine?
Oh, Wizard,
I think it was probably
from Itchy Wanda.
Exactly.
It's like Christmas Day whenever Wizard came.
That's it. So I was given a Wizard magazine with like a couple like old Wolverine magazines or comics, and that like just like every bit of allowance money, extra jobs around the neighborhood, I immediately just spent. I had like subscriptions to like two of the different. You remember there was 4 Spider-Man titles. There was like Sensational and Spectacular, and then Amazing Spider-Man and Peter Parker Spider-Man. So those I had 2 of those. Okay. And then they had Ultimate Spider-Man. Then they rebooted Ultimate Spider-Man.
When it was early, it was Amazing, Spectacular, Spider-Man, which was Todd McFarlane.
Yes.
There was a 4th one? What was the 4th?
Well, there was Sensational for a while. There was 4. There was
Sensational and Spectacular.
Yes. There was 4 different titles, and I think Sensational might have been what was it? Scarlet Spider. What was that guy's name again? Darcy something. Anyways, yeah. So I had subscription to half of those. I had like Silver Surfer, and then I don't know if you remember in the late 90s where they killed all the Avengers and everybody through Onslaught, and then they had this 1 year of editions where they were like in an alternate reality, and then they came back. It was very, very similar to what Marvel did with Endgame. And then they all came back, and I collected all the alt editions of the number ones of all those comeback ones, and they rebooted every single series. I had a couple thousand comic books, and I'm not kidding. I don't know where they are. What? They're not like when I left home. When I left home when I was like 19, I'm convinced I took them with me, but I don't have recollection of them at my first apartment. All my roommates in my 20s, no recollection of me owning comic books. My parents, they're like, we don't know what happened to your comic books. We cleaned out the house. We didn't find them, because they sold the house not long after I left. So there's this like black hole from years ago of like I'm like they might be somewhere. They might be somewhere.
I hate to tell you this, but I stole them.
That would explain a lot. That's who that strange guy was that day across the street in downtown Toronto when I was cleaning out the house.
Moving company, and they would confiscate all comic books, and they knew that the moms wouldn't care that they were taken. So, yeah.
It's one of the greatest. I dream about it. I dream about it at this point.
I have all mine to my wife's chagrin. she's
I would do anything to read them.
Just move them around. So yeah, I think digital collectibles are going to be massive, but it's going to be the truly scarce stuff that holds up, I think. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's it. Yeah. That's what we're training. Anyways, thanks for listening to me about my comic books.
No, I feel for you. We were collecting at the same time all my best stuff. The Rob Liefeld New Mutants run, and then into the X-Force stuff is my favorite stuff. So
there's so much good stuff. I had like tons of like Moon Knight, and like I had some of the now they're making Moon Knight in Marvel, and I'm like, come on, you're making like the most random guy, and I would be nobody even knows who that guy is, but I had his comic books,
They're even making the Valiant comics like Bloodshot and stuff like God. That was actually I was gonna buy the Valiant IP, but I didn't have enough money. But I thought that it did turn into something. It turned into a bad movie with Vin Diesel, I think. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Top Shot.
Top Shot. Let's get back on track.
We're killing your audience. I do have to go.
It's okay.
I hate to say it, but I did get a call. We got like 5 minutes of those.
We got 5 minutes. Okay, Top Shot. Like 2 questions. One, has it invaded the front office and the locker room? Are players and other admin, are you guys talking about it? Second question is, what do you think is going to happen from here? Are we going to start to integrate Top Shot into like ticket sales or concessions or some kind of other experience with fans? Those are the only 2 questions I got.
I would say the first thing, 100%. Like players are absolutely aware. People maybe wouldn't be surprised. The real diehards know, but like NBA players are smart. They're forward thinking. Obviously, they have a lot of disposable income because they should. They're the product for the league. The league has obviously pretty excited about their licensing investment in it, and it's part of the NBA. I believe the NBPA is cut in. That's the NBA Players Association. So the players are very aware. Guys like Tobias Harris who are forward-thinking guys. I think Danny Green talked about it recently too. So everyone's aware. Yeah.
Are they thinking about it like when we've seen during some games, like Rudy Gobert the other day was like Top Shot that like during a game? Is that something you could see kind of invading the games in a weird way?
Absolutely, not in a weird way. I think it's going to be one of the coolest things and why it's such a nice crossover. And I have the MIT conference coming up in a few weeks. Roham's going to be there talking about Top Shots, and so people want to check that out at mitSSAC.com. You can grab a ticket to that virtual event.
Great.
But Roham, I'm trying to convince Roham to do Top Shots of key analytics moments in history before that. But the reality is he's just trying to make his site work, so I don't blame him.
What would it be? Well, tell me, what would be like the top 2 key analytics moments? And obviously you have to be involved.
It's such a good question. If you're doing like on the court stuff, I think the one that came to mind that I mentioned to Roham would be the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs made 27 3-pointers. So there's a lot of like self-aggrandizing ones because Houston had a lot of analytics moments. But I would, if I abstract from that and just say, I think Cleveland making 27 threes in the playoffs, I think 3 years ago, maybe 4. Mm-hmm. That would be one. There's a lot. There's a lot we could think of, I think. So,
I like that. You can see that. Top Shot's like, to me, it's an open book of different stuff that we could make, right? So it's like, absolutely. I think that's totally possible. Okay.
In football would be when I think it was the corner or as a running back for the Eagles, man. I think it was Westbrook actually for the Eagles. Stopped at the 1 yard line rather than score the touchdown. That would be a great one when the NFL touchdown.
I remember that so well. That was so bonkers.
Going for it on 4th down in the NFL, that would have been a good. Yeah, there's a lot. Us missing 25 threes in a row against Golden State. Everyone thinks it's 27, but we were fouled on 2 of them, so it's 25.
Sorry. That's if you want it. There's a new website called like Low Shots. That's just like the biggest like goofball moves in NBA top or in the NBA. It's a parody of Top Shot, but it's like
the Shaq and the Fools.
Yeah, it's Shaq. It was like people getting hit in the groin and stuff like that. Like it's airball free throws, like all that kind of stuff. So yeah, maybe we get your wish. Maybe we get a cocktail of all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you foresee any kind of change to the player fan engagement now that we're all going to be in the same ecosystem of trading along with you?
I think so. I mean, I think there's no end to what you can do with it. It's just an infrastructure. The blockchain, Ethereum, infrastructure is just an infrastructure, and you can use it in so many ways. And Ethereum's actually a useful blockchain. Like you could actually use it for sales, whereas Bitcoin's really more like gold, where it's harder to do fast transactions and things like that on it. So yeah, no, I think there's no end to what could be done for sure.
Okay.
So.
Okay, there's one last thing we got to do, and we do this with every guest, and it's a game called Would You Rather, where I give you two options and you pick one, okay?
All right.
And they're difficult, and people find it. We had Whale Shark on last week, and he had a really hard time. I don't know if you know Whale Shark is, but he's a big time NFT community guy, so he had a hard time.
Is this like Kobayashi Maru, where I should not pick one every once in a while? Or?
You can't hack the system, but it's pretty similar. Yeah, if you want to bring up a little Chris Pine reference, that's great. Okay. What this is Top Shot related? First one. Okay. The number one Joel Embiid legendary moment of like his first one, or the first legendary that he's in, or 10,000 Ben Simmons common moments.
Joel legendary, but that has nothing to do with Joel or Ben. I would just take the legendary moment.
It's smart. Yeah, exactly. That's the right answer. Okay.
Yep.
Would you?
Oh, there's a right answer, so I pass.
No, there's no right answer. I just think based on what you said, you're consistent. Yeah. You're very consistent. That matches what you said.
Question 1 though, would I then be flushed off and not get to question 2? How does this?
No. Just make the rest of the questions really hard. No. There's no right or wrong. This is all your preference. We're just finding out who you are through these difficult questions.
Sure,
okay.
Sure.
You get to choose any 2 moments in NBA history that are minted into moments. Anything you want. It could be Jordan Game 6, can be your analytics crown, can be you winning executive of the year, like whatever, they give you the trophy, whatever that is. Any of those, or we create a Top Shot 1 of 1 Daryl Morey moment. That's its own thing. You get your own moment. No other executive, nobody else front office, no other coaches, nobody has a moment, but you do.
The first one though, other people could get it. It wouldn't be
anybody else could get it. It's going to go in a pack. It's going to go in a pack, and anybody can have it. But you get to choose what they are. You get to be the curator, or we make a 1 of 1 moment, and you get it, and you can sell it for 50 ETH or whatever you want.
As long as I could donate it to the ACLU, I would take the unique whatever moment they dream up for me, so I could send it to charity.
And they get to pick. Yeah, we get to pick what it is. You don't get to pick.
I think the unique moments are better. Yeah.
Okay. Last one, and there's maybe there's a right or wrong answer to this one. Your Ethereum NFT goes to auction, and it breaks Beeple's $69 million record set last week, or and it all goes to the charity of your choice, ACLU as you want, or Philadelphia wins the championship this year.
Philadelphia wins the championship.
Okay, that's the right answer.
It's not even hard, because look, again, it's more unique. Winning the championship is more unique. There's a lot of people in the world who have 69 million. I don't, but I'd take the championship any day. So
absolutely. Daryl, dude, it's been great having you on, man. We'll have to have you on again, and especially as we shift more into NFTs, we'll have to get you back to chat about them.
I'd love that. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Sorry to all the people who only wanted Top Shot only. Luke's gonna list the minutes where I talk about Top Shot, so you can skip all talking about.
I'm actually only going to cut out the part. I'm only going to keep the part about my sad comic book story. The rest I'm not going to keep. It's going to be you reacting to my sad story. That's going to be the interview.
That'll be the Twitter. Highlight.
That's unique content right there. Is Luke tells basketball executives his sad stories in life. That's it. That's the new series.
Exactly. Hey, thanks for having me on. That was fun, and I love what you guys are doing. It's really important for the space. And thanks again.